Hey everyone, it's Suzanne here. Just wanting to show you another project I've been working on with the April kit from Aunty Vera Scrap and Craft. So this kit is called All the Leaves Are Brown Too. And I'll just go through what I've used to do this project. So I used again some of the lovely papers, and these are called A Perfect Autumn. And they're by Echo Park. They're really lovely papers. And also this month Vera sent, also from Echo Park, is the Dots and Stripes paper, so I've used some of them. I used this really awesome stamp. I used dye and some of the raffia, and I also used quite a few of my dyes and things as well. So this is the first thing I made. So for this project I've made two large tags, a little folder with some goodies in it, and a bookmark. So my tag, I have used this mixed media cardstock. It's Ranger mixed media cardstock, and I used my Distress Oxides and coloured it. I've used the dye to die cut all the leaves. So I made the leaves using some jelly print that I'd done, and I do have a video of that if you want to see how I'd done that. The little fox is cut from some of the paper, as is the little banner. The little bird on the branch is from the rub-on. So that's where the little bird is from. And over the back I've used, I think that's out of the ephemera pack, and I've used some of the raffia up the top. So that's the first one. My next one is this one. So I've used the same paper that I coloured with my Distress Oxides, and I die cut, I don't know how many teeny tiny little leaves, two at a time. You can probably see one is a little larger than the other. So there's two size leaves, and I've just die cut it hundreds of times and piled them up, and then I stamped and coloured and cut out that little gorgeous girl, because she looks like she's lying on the ground, and I've die cut a little bike, so it's like she was riding along, and just decided to throw a bike to the ground and lay down in the leaves and look at the sky perhaps. And I used another piece from the ephemera pack which just says blessed, and over the back this one I think is from the ephemera pack, or could be from a 3x4 cut apart. I'm really not sure now, but yeah, so that's the back. Again, I've just used some raffia. Here I've made a little folder. I used a basket die, just glued on some pretty little flowers and a bit of greenery. This is from the ephemera pack, Gather Together. And these are the things I've made for inside. So this is where I used the stamp, and I used my Distress Oxide, that paper that I made, and I stamped out, I'm creative, you can't expect me to be neat too. I think it's perfect on that paper. into there. This one is a little envelope that I made, and I've just put some of my autumn leaves that I die cut in there. This one is just a teeny tiny little tag, and another little pocket with a tiny little tag. Another little tag that I made. This is a little seed packet that I made. So I had this little stamp in my stash, and I've just made, it's a little folded up, made a little seed packet. This is another little envelope. Oops. Another little envelope. And in it I've just made a little card. It says warm autumn wishes, and I stamped that on. And the last little one there says I'm nuts about you, and I use that's a little rub on, and I just added a little leaf there. Okay, this is a die that I have. It's a Sizzix Tim Holtz die, and that's that. And the last thing I made is this cute bookmark. So it's got lots and lots of layers. It's quite thick. So these are a new die set that I picked up. It's a Caitlin Lazardi die, and I've just die cut some stitched hills in the papers, and the back layer I've done put the sun, and then another layer with the trees, and another layer with the cute little foxes, and that's the back. So that's all there is to it this time. I'll put all of this back in there. So I hope you enjoyed having a look at those, and don't forget you can get the kit from Aunty Vera Scrap and Craft. Thank you for watching. Bye. Alright, so here you can just see that I've got some of my Distress Oxide inks and the tag that I've cut with one of my dies, and it's using that Ranger mixed media cardstock. And I've just used one of the yellow, so either Wild Honey or Fossilized Amber. There was my first layer, and you just squidgy thumb down on your craft mat and add a bit of water and then dry it off. And I also decided, instead of wasting, because I put way too much there, I decided to colour a whole sheet of it because I needed another one anyway. So now I've moved on to some of the orange, and I've used both carved pumpkin and spiced marmalade. They're very alike. One's just a little brighter than the other. But as long as you are drying between each of those layers, you will see a subtle difference in those colours. And okay, so then I move on to the peeled paint colour, so which is a nice deep green, and just the same as the others. Add a little water and dip your tag in, and there I'm just picking up the rest, so I'm not wasting it. And I think I use a bit of vintage photo just to add a little brown tone to the mix as well. And I think I use one more after that, some aged mahogany, just to insert a bit of the red into the tag. Yes, so that's the aged mahogany distress ink, and adding the water and dipping it in. Okay, and I just dry it off, and then I'm moving on to the fox and the leaves. So those leaves have been cut using the lawn fawn die set that's in the April kit. The fox has been cut from one of the 3x4 cut aparts, as has the small sentiment. And I also use the bird on a branch there from the rub-on sheet. I know you can't see it very well because of the glare, but yeah, those rub-ons have got some lovely little bits and pieces on them, and I use them quite a lot. I've actually hardly got any of them left. Okay, so I've placed all the leaves, and I'm about to cut off that little rub-on to add to the top there. And these, they work really well. I don't know, I've not used rub-ons for a long time, but I did have quite a few at one stage and they really didn't work very well, but these have all worked beautifully. I've used most of them and not one of them didn't work. They were terrific rub-ons. And that is pretty much it for that tag. I just add that sentiment and it's done. So if you're still with me, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Bye for now.